Welcome, students. Today we are going to start with chapter 5 of your text, and the title of the chapter is Indigo, and it is written by Louis Fisher. Let us know a little about the author. Louis Fisher, the son of a fish peddler, was born in Philadelphia on 29 February 1896. After studying at the Philadelphia School of Pedagogy from 1914 to 1916, he became a school teacher. He served as a volunteer in the British Army, but he made his career as a journalist and worked for different newspapers. Louis Fisher taught about the Soviet Union at Princeton University until his death on January 15, 1970. The famous American journalist Mr. Louis Fisher came to India in May 1942. He was in India for 2 months. The World War was in full swing. In the scorching heat of June, he spent 1 week with Gandhiji in his ashram. Gandhiji gave him 1 hour daily. He could also talk with Gandhi during other activities such as eating, walking, etc. Fisher wrote the book 7 Days with the Mahatma. In this famous book, he has described the ashram life and Gandhiji's likes and dislikes in very touching way. He wrote that he never felt afraid in Gandhi's presence. His association with Gandhi was warm, healthy, full of joy and cordial. He found Gandhi a cultured, able, and always refreshing and sweet person. Louis Fisher has described the wonders of Gandhi's personality in that book. So the story which we are going to study, it is one part from that story only. So it is one excerpt from that story written by Louis Fisher about 7 days journey with Gandhi. So that little excerpt from that story, it forms part of our story, which is Indigo. Let us have a look at the introduction of the chapter Indigo. In this story, Louis describes Gandhi's struggle for the poor peasants of Champaran, who were the sharecroppers with the British planters. They led a miserable life and were forced to grow indigo according to an agreement. They suffered a great injustice due to the landlord system in Bihar. Gandhi waged a war for about a year against their atrocities and brought justice to the poor peasants. So this whole chapter is about that how Gandhiji he fought for those peasants and how he was able to bring justice for those peasants. And now let us have a look at the main characters which are involved in this story. So Indigo characters are, first most important character is Mahatma Gandhi himself. He was Indian national leader. Then Rajendra Prasad, a lawyer in this story, and later the president of India. J.B. Kriplani, a professor in art college, Muzaffarpur, Bihar. Then Professor Malkani, a teacher in government school. Then Sir Edward Gate, Lieutenant Governor. Rajkumar Shukla, a sharecropper from Champaran, Bihar. Next important character is Charles Freer Andrews, a follower of Gandhi. Then Kasturba, wife of Mahatma Gandhi. And then Devdas, youngest son of Gandhi. So these are the major and minor characters which somehow would be playing role in the story. And then important places which are discussed in this chapter Indigo. First important place which is mentioned is Motihari, that is capital of Champaran. Then Muzaffarpur, a town in Bihar. And then Champaran itself, a district in Bihar. Then there is one place that is Tirhat Division or Commissionary. It is an administrative geographical unit of Bihar in India. Muzaffarpur is the headquarters of the division. The division comprises 6 districts: Muzaffarpur, West Champaran, East Champaran, Vishali, Sitamarhi, Mari, and then Shiohar. These are the places which are under this division. So these are important places which we'll go through in the story. Let us know a little about the summary of the chapter so that when we will start discussion of text, we can understand it better. So this story describes Gandhi's struggle for the poor peasants of Champaran. In those days, most of the arable land in the Champaran district was divided into large estates owned by Englishmen and worked by Indian tenants. The chief commercial crop was indigo. The landlords compelled all tenants to plant 15% of their indigo and surrender the entire indigo harvest as rent. This was done through long-term contracts. The British didn't need the indigo crop anymore when Germany had developed synthetic indigo. So just to release the peasants from the 15% agreement, they demanded compensation. Some illiterate peasants agreed, but the others refused because it was the duty of Britishers rather to pay them, but they were asking the money from peasants only. One of the sharecroppers named Rajkumar Shukla met Gandhi in this regard and compelled him to visit Champaran because of the long-term injustice of landlords. Then the two of them boarded a train for the city of Patna in Bihar. From there, Shukla led him to the house of a lawyer named Rajendra Prasad. Mahatma Gandhi's humble and simple attire made the servants mistook him as another poor peasant. He surveyed before taking any vital step in order to in order to get those peasants justice. It was the time when the British government punished those who in any condition gave shelter to national leaders or protesters. Gandhi's arrival and the nature of his mission spread like a wildfire. Many lawyers and peasants groups came in large numbers to support him. The lawyers accepted the fact that their charges were high, and for a poor peasant it will be irksome. Gandhi rebuked them for collecting big fees from the sharecroppers. He stressed on counseling as this would give the peasants enough confidence to fight their fear. He managed to get justice after a year-long battle for the peasants. He also made arrangements for the education, health, and hygiene for the families of poor peasants. He gave them the lesson of self-reliance. So this is all about the chapter. No doubt we'll be doing it line by line. So let us have a look at the theme also. The writer describes Gandhi's struggle for poor peasants of Champaran who were sharecroppers with British planters. They led a miserable life, were forced to grow indigo according to an agreement. They suffered a great injustice due to landlord system in Bihar. He waged a long war for about a year against their atrocities and brought justice to the poor peasants. This heroic struggle ended with a victory of civil disobedience, and the English landlords had to return the money they had extorted from the sharecroppers. Gandhiji taught the lesson of self-reliance and fearlessness. So this story highlights that the struggle for the noble cause never goes unrewarded. So let us start with the text. A little part of the text we will cover today and the rest we will take up in the next video. So let us start with the today's share. At least let us begin the text. And the text goes like, when I first visited Gandhi in 1942 at his ashram in Sevagram in central India, he said, I will tell you how it happened that I decided to urge the departure of the British. It was in 1917. The author explains about his first interaction with Mahatma Gandhi. In these lines, he tells us that what was his first interaction with Mahatma Gandhi. He says that he first met Gandhi in 1942 at his ashram, which was in Sevagram. It was located in